S-T-R-O. Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set. 10-2 stop. Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Looking to throw. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
First down. Here we go. Set. 18 Gators. Check tight. Check tight. Check tight. Five.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And he's got this down to the 35. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well. And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football, overtime. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. This is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how. Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there. These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face. A little wind in there. Yeah, that's right.
Set, ready? 60 Pittsburgh. X3, 218, chopper. Hot, hot.
On first down, it's Taylor. He finds an opening past the 40. He's at the 40, 20, and finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 67 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first and goal situation.
We got to step it up.
Throwing Jones. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. Now he's got the hook up to Moore. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's third and goal.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are...
Touchdown, Vikings! A 1-yard touchdown reception as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, it was third and 1. I was expecting run so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Second and 6. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And to give this time to the tailback. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Airing it out deep for Smith. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot.
51's the mic. Got you, boy.
Get it.
From the gun, Jones looking for the out route, and he's got more. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Go.
That's good for the Vikings. First down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Hey, wahoo!
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
14, Vikings 7.
Set, ready? 30 base.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones, that one into the hands of Kane. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Mike 51. Watch the curve.
Ready?
Jones on first down. He finds Taylor, complete. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, Charlie.
Mike 51. They can't hang with us.
Operating from the gun, Jones. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, Orbit.
Bring it, guys. Mike 51. Mike 51. Go, Mike 51. Mike 51. Hey.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey, Haywood. I'm not ready. 51.
Here's Jones to throw again. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
Watch the backer, watch the backer.
Jones now to throw on third down. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game, you know, because you do practice it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. From just shy of midfield, Jones, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
And they pick up a 1st down, and that came out of the fullback position, but as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
So times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Hey, high 7.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. Let's go.
On 2nd and 7, Jones flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
Ready?
On third down, it's Taylor. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be fourth down and a few inches. And his kick is indeed good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterback.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that
it's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
On second down, it's Taylor. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. Now Jones operating from the gun. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, They've talked about it for years. They've done the drills, but they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. On first down, he'll drop to throw. This is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Hockenson as the first half is winding down. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Yes, yes. Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
Now Jones. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Let's get it. Here we go. Set. 8. Read. Hey, exit.
2nd and 14. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Mike 51. Mike 51.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jones. And he's going to go down again. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
How about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
56 to Mike.
They'll set up to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Looking here for Smith downfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big play there for the Lions. 52 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here we go. 10 logo. 6-6. Pull it high.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Let's go, baby.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Steps away. And his throw here is incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
I smell fear in that offense. Right here, guys. Mike 51. Mike 51.
Jones from the gun, he'll throw to the right side, and he's got more complete. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is taken at about the 14. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
X3, 218, shoot!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got Smith here, and he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. It's a gain of 5, but they're still deep in a hole. 15 yards still to go on third down.
47-yard line. 5 yards on the play. And it's third down.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Lions on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. Now back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. A big play that time on the catch and run. 52 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
70, Indy.
First and goal, Detroit.
Get it.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
Vikings 13. Michael Dixon set to kick off.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
61, matchbox lights. Ready?
Off play action. Jones. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give them 32 on the play.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
59, Mike.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here's Jones. Going to throw again. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points. But he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. All of a sudden, they have quite a bit of breathing room. This was a one-score game, but touchdowns on their last 2 drives, and now comfort is here, so to speak.
It certainly is for them. I've been in this situation before on the flip side of this. And all that's going on there is a little bit of finger pointing. Hey, what's going on? How can we stop them? Can someone make a play to try and stop this momentum?
Oh, they're going to be ball hawking because they need a turnover on that other side. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw here. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A big play there. 73 yards. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up second and 10. Jones now throwing again. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Call it a gain of 3, and they're going to have a third down. The Vikings on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Jones.
A 6-yard loss. It's 4th down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Mike 51. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Converge. Mike 51. Mike 51. Ready?
Now Jones throwing on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
70, Indy, 80 weapons. 8 yards. 56, Mike.
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
Ready. 18 Gator. 56. Come on, D. 2.
They're going to look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this? And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. After the sack on first down, Jones over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 27 yards there, a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Detroit, they're not going to go quietly here as the win moves them now to 8-6 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's now 14 games without a win with time running out to try and get one. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Crash. Yeah. Honey, dash. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. Honey, yard dash. 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 Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Good shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, all this is handling. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. Honey, yard dash. 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 They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's noted in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the